Oh. Is it? Oh. Adverts. Probably have let them play first. Yep. Oh, it's joining my chats faster. That's always good. You know, I do that to my dogs all the time. I'll be looking at them and go... Womp womp. Why does this wire look weird? Should I not have that point there? Maybe. Maybe. I mean, it doesn't make sense to be sticking up in the air like this in general, but it kind of looks like that where I'm getting the reference from. That's why I did that. That's usually the case for a lot of my stuff is I'll follow the reference and then people are like, that doesn't look right. I'm like, well, that's what it looks like in the reference. Like, it's hard when following the reference to then have people tell you it doesn't look right because it's like, but reference. Like how are you supposed to... I mean, you see that all the time, actually. I don't know if you guys ever see when people overcast environments. When people passed overcast environments, wow, that was difficult to say. Was it freaking like a tongue twister just to say that? Overcast environment 3D image. See, these look good. Overcast environments 3D render that look wrong. Why does my render look like a cartoon? Oh. That does look weird, actually. It's kind of uncanny. Look at this. Look at it. Look at this. That is weird. It is the lighting, right? Because like everything's got sort of same levels of lighting, except maybe like underneath here of the amp occlusion. I wonder what people say as advice. Oh, I just closed it. I mean, you literally just saw me close it. Oh, what? There. Lighting. Marble texture for the counter looks weird. Composition. Yeah. Lighting is too uniform. Yeah. See, that's exactly what I'm saying. Now, I want to clarify. This person posted this 3 years ago, and they specifically asked for help. I've said before, I hate when people's first instinct to something, whether it's news, whether it's 3D art, whatever you're telling somebody, when their first instance is to try to tell you what you've done wrong. Not everything needs to have a reasoning attached to it. Some people just want to vent. Or in 3D, some people just want to share their art and not have somebody tell them, that doesn't look right. Thank you for the follow. That person. It didn't come up big enough for me to see. Ongyok? Yeah, it's like, it's a really weird thing. Because for some reason in the 3D world, we are fine criticizing everything we see without feeling like it's a mean thing to do. Not everyone wants criticism. Heck, I rarely want criticism, and that is always really, really poorly received. Telling someone that you don't really want criticism often will just make people say, well, then you're a bad artist, then you should want criticism. No, it doesn't mean that. I will go to the places I feel comfortable sharing for criticism. I have servers I post art on to ask for criticism. I'm not always trying to aim for perfection when I make something. I'm just trying to have a bit of fun. But sometimes I will reach out to see why something doesn't look right. And that's fine. You don't need to tell someone what's wrong with something. Sometimes people just want to share work. And it is super weird to me that instinctively people just want to criticize. Well, maybe not everybody. You guys are super nice here. You guys always tell me how nice my work is, so I can't really say it on Twitch. Years ago, maybe not, but now that I've got a little bit better, I'm still not like at peak. You know, if we're saying from 0 to 10, I'd say maybe I'm a 5 to 6 out of 10 artist these days, and I used to be like a 2 to 3. But unless you're like 5+, people will always just criticize your work, regardless to the quality or regardless to what level you're at. It's like when you first start doing 3D, right? I never really received positive feedback from people, or just a positive response from people when I first started doing 3D, except maybe from my dad. But my dad was always just impressed by it because the fact that I was able to make 3D models and be like, look at this thing, even if it didn't look completely accurate and it wasn't textured, because I couldn't texture for the longest time when starting out. He was always impressed by it because it was the fact that I was able to just make something out of nothing was very cool to him. Whereas if you talk to people who know, not even artists, but people who know about art, I guess, like, oh, 3D modeling is a thing, you know. When you're like a 2 to 3 out of 10, you're not very good. All people want to do is criticize and not give you positive feedback. Even my friends growing up, guys, look, I made this thing. I made a desk. And it just has a tiling wood texture on it. It's not very good, but it's something I made, and I'm happy that I made it. Oh, that looks crap. That doesn't look like a game asset at all. Well, they wouldn't have used the term game asset. They would have just said, that doesn't look good at all. Oh, thanks, guys. That doesn't look real? Oh, okay. You know, sometimes people just want encouragement. You don't need to always give negativity towards people. Sometimes people just want to hear, good job, man. You were productive. Good job, man. You made a thing. What did I do on the weekend? I just ate chicken, and I just ate fried chicken and watched TV. It's fine being nice to each other. That's all I'm saying. You don't have to always criticize every little thing just because somebody's an artist. I might just leave that high, Polly. The reason for that is just because, well, one, I'm just going to render it in marmoset probably. So we're not too hung up on the fact of having a higher poly count. We just kind of want to, I mean, if we look at the poly count anyway, or look at the geometry, it's very clean geometry. You know, we're not, it looks a bit weird here. But we're not got dirty geometry or anything, so we're doing pretty well on that. I could actually, like, combine all these to the center. Yeah, it's relatively clean geometry, so we're good for that. I feel like when it comes to criticizing or looking at poly counts, I think it's more important how well the geometry is made over the actual poly count, because depending on its intent, poly counts don't necessarily always aren't always the things that matter the most. Does that make sense? Like, you can make something without the intent of caring about poly count, but as long as the topology and stuff's good, it means that geometry can be reduced in poly count and still work, right? Like, if you had, like, a cube that was, like, 50, you know, that still works as a cube, right? And you could sit there and say, oh, let's reduce poly count. And you could sit there, you know, doing some, what do you call it? No, is it retopologizing? I guess retopologizing, optimizing. You go, okay, let's set all the edge loops we don't need. Like, a really good way to just, like, when you're optimizing anything is you want to check how much it affects the profile, right? So if we've got something like this, and then we've got, like, this side doing this, and this side sort of doing the same thing, but doing this, right? And you look at it, you say, okay, let's do a bit more, actually. You say, okay, this side's got more edges, but, can I remove edge loops without ruining the silhouette? Because the silhouette's really important because you can use normal maps to fake 3D, but you can't fake a silhouette. So if I go, okay, let's delete every other one and see if that affects our silhouette. Deleted edge loop. Delete edge loop. And do that. You're like, ooh, silhouette's a bit sharper now. It looks a little bit more jagged. That's not really what I want, and you might not be able to get away with removing those edges. However, if we look at this right side, we've got all these extras here. This is still a straight line, so removing this, even every single one of them, should look the same. right? So it kind of comes in different ways where can we move edge loops or just vertices and stuff like that in general to decrease our poly count and still make the asset look the same. And you basically just want to get to a point where you've removed all the edges that don't affect your silhouette or don't affect your shape drastically. Because I can say about silhouette, but well, I guess it's still silhouette. I was gonna say, because you can have a shape where you're not affecting the silhouette too much, but obviously if you've got like, hey moderate, got like a shape like this, right? And you're like, oh, you know, let's retopologize, let's optimize it. This is technically not affecting the silhouette if I were to remove edges. However, it does drastically affect the shape. So if I say, oh, let's remove these edge loops because it's not going to affect our silhouette. I'm talking about optimization at the moment. Like that, we've not affected our silhouette, but it might, and if your normal maps can get away with making this dent look really good, it might be fine. But because it's such a big change in the shape's geometry, you might not be able to get away with trying to optimize it that way, right? Whereas if it was literally just what we had earlier, like this, you can easily get rid of all these edge loops and it won't change your silhouette or anything, which means you're probably fine getting rid of them. Versus, like I said earlier, this side, even though there's more edges here, if we get rid of these edges, we are drastically changing that silhouette and making it look sharper. And normal maps can't change your silhouette. They can only change the faces basically in between your silhouette. So anything around here, but it's not going to change that edge shape. So yeah, when you're optimizing, it comes down to what you're making it for. Obviously, if you're making a mobile game, just decimate 4 times and turn on nanites. True. Well, you don't need to decimate if you're turning on nanites. You could just freaking subdivide it 4 times and turn on nanites. I got a pop filter. See that? Metal. Well, it's metal and foam. I don't know how much it's going to help. Don't know how much it stops popping sounds. I mean, that's an exaggerated popping sound. It's supposed to be for like when you're saying words, that begin with P, like parents and patrol and petrol and pharmacists. Oh wait, no, that one doesn't work. Okay, so wire. We need to do the head of the wire and the game, like the actual cartridge itself. Peter Piper picked it. Let's exaggerate the P. Peter Piper picked a pickled pepper. Peter Piper picked. Oh, I did say it right. Peter Piper picked a pickled pepper. What's the rest of that one? Wait, I want to check. Piper picked a pickled. Lyrics? What do you mean lyrics? Tongue twist. Peter Piper picked a. Oh, Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, it's got a message from somewhere. Where's the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked? Yeah. I mean, that's... I feel like I'll have more difficulty saying this, not because of the tongue twister, but because I keep forgetting the word peck is in there. Peter Piper picked... Yeah, Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers... Where's the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked? I struggled in the last bit. She sells seashells by the seashore. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck? A woodchuck could chuck wood. Oh, you guys can't hear it anyway. You guys can only hear thingy. Day after your last stream, the studio workout for 9 years closed. No! For 9 years! Oh my god, you're in my chat and you're probably like the best artist in here. Freaking 9 years! You're probably like, you look at my work and go, man, look at this amateur. Look at this armature. Alright, let's do the plug head. Respect to the robot. I don't believe your name is Steve. You can't fool me. Well, you know what? That's fair. I can't give you any proof. So, I'll let you believe what you want to believe. That's sweet. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, 9 years. Your redundancy would be nutty. Well, it's do I remember this? So you get redundancy. Well, if you're in the UK, you get redundancy after 2 years. I've got my knee up. I'm like doing a. Well. Thank you for coming in today. Let's talk about your problems. I've lost my train of thought now. Redundancy. Well, it's 2 years, and then for every year you work, it's 1 month worth of pay. Is that it? So, and the 2 years is 2 months. So you should get. Is that just 9 years worth of pay? How does redundancy pay work in? Okay. I hope you're fine, by the way, Lawrence. I mean, saying that your company closed down. Wait, you said worked at instead of worked for. Although you might say it because it closed down. I hope you're still set for work. It does suck. I've been made redundant basically 3 times in my life already. Changed Studio last year again. Yeah, I've been made redundant 3 times. Technically not for the second one because I was basically fired before they could be made redundant, but basically was made redundant. I worked at Game, which is like GameStop for Americans out there. Store closed down. I worked at Corals. Store closed down. And my last games company I worked for closed down. You know, I'm 29 years old and I've been made redundant 3 times. I am not among one of the lucky people. People hate when I talk about luck. Oh, luck doesn't exist, man. Don't get me wrong. I don't necessarily think luck exists. But people are like, oh, Steve, stop thinking like that. Luck doesn't exist. Man, if I didn't believe at least a little bit in luck, whoo, I live an unlucky life. I was made redundant on Christmas Day. Jesus. Are we just a group of redundant? Well, no. Lauren said it was companies she worked for. So we're not redundancies. How the word would be? We are redundancies. You get half a week's pay for each full... Only half a... Oh, under 22. 1 week's pay for each year above, but under 41. And 1.5 weeks for every year above 41. Damn. Okay. So if you've worked... Yeah, so I was right. You get 9 weeks of redundancy pay in the UK if you've worked somewhere for 9 years. That's not bad. If you can spend all evening streaming, you're not as unlucky as you think you are. Unlucky people have to spend the night... True. Fending off goblins. You know what? I didn't read that last part till it's true. You're right. I mean, I still have, you know, some positivity in my life where I've been able to do certain things. But I feel like compared to the average person, at least I know it feels very difficult to feel like I am not unlucky. I like to take it in strides, though. It doesn't necessarily mean I'm put down. I'm not capable of doing things like streaming, for example. It just is what it is. I don't think I've known anyone to spend 7 years trying to get a job, though, and not find one. But that's unique to me. First world unlucky. Yeah. That's a good way to put it. I'm first world unlucky. Odyssey. What's the console called again? Magnus. I can't remember what it's called. Magnavox Odyssey. You know what? Looking for videos when you guys sent them to me were actually really helpful. Let's actually get some videos. Unboxing. Actually, what's that one? Oh, it is an unboxing video. Oh, Jesus, that was loud. You guys can't hear my PC. You could just hear... which one? What is that in the box? Wait, the original... What? The original box came with, like, chips. Like, gambling chips. Like, look at this. Where'd it go? Look. And dice. Oh, that's weird. Roses are red and violets are damp. You just won a Tiffany lamp. Man, I loved when I used to be able to win lamps from buying games consoles. Yeah, these are going to be pretty easy to model. It's got this like curved at the bottom, then it's slightly rounded at the tops. Oh, with a little divot in it. Oh, and it's got that at the back. That's brilliant. It shows me the back of it too. I want to see the console though. I want to do the wire. Oh my god, it comes with so many weird things. What? Oh, this is cool. Can you get the console out, my guy? How much free stuff do you get? There it is. Well, show me the wire. Whoa, that doesn't go in very far. Well, yeah, clean that up. Oh, he's got a little brush. Show me the wire. There we go. The screens overlay for the game. Oh, that is super cool, actually. Wait, hold on a minute. Oh, it's got... Oh, I need that image. It's got, like, words on it. On the pins, I can see those clearer there, too. Where's my pure ref? Yeah, we're not, like, caring too much about, like, insane accuracy, but I care enough, you know, to wanna... If it doesn't cause me an extra inconvenience to, just make them for the heck of it. Okay, okay. That helps a lot, actually. I don't know what that plug is that he's got there, though. Yeah, let's go back to the wire. That's good enough. Bro's give me all the reference I need from one video. That's an insane looking plug, though. 9 pins. So he's just cleaning it here. Let's get the picture of the... Oh, you know what? That's a good picture. So I can remember how far the actual... how far the actual thing goes in. How much reference do you guys gather? I saw this question on... Oh, I just closed it by accident. I have this problem with Windows 10 where when I go between... So my monitors... Really hard to explain. My monitors... Oh, actually, I can show you in Windows. My monitors are set up in a very peculiar way. So my monitors are set up like this. Ignore the fact that this looks a lot bigger. It's just because it's a 2K monitor. So it's like square here, square here, square here. I have one down here because it's my tablet that I draw on. Then I have 2 up here. So I... Not enough. I move my mouse between the monitors. Right? But sometimes... It gets like stuck and it doesn't go. So I'll end up clicking the X on my window. And I can't... Like, there's ease cursor between, right? You do that one. The problem with this one is I will put this up here and it goes up to my top left monitor instead of my top right one. So, yeah. Windows, for some reason, Windows 11 has a worse going between screen with your mouse. It didn't used to do any of this on Windows 10. Super weird. Anyway, that's just a random complaint about Windows 11. So I closed the video. Let's get the video back up if it lets me. Reopen, close Windows. Oh. Wait, it's based on tab itself? Tab itself. Yeah, then. I try to get loads of... Well, actually, you know what? I don't try to get loads of reference. I have a really bad habit of getting, like, no reference at all. Or maybe one image. And I like doing that. Don't get me wrong. It's actually kind of fun. And because it's like a little challenge. Being able to try to make the rest of it without being able to see it. But it's not a good thing to do. I would not recommend doing that. Even though I find it fun. Okay, let's get our last image. I want to see the back of the game. Wait, did he turn it over? Oh, there you go. It's cost £665 for this console. What you just said. Let's check how much it costs. Because a really big misconception is gaming has become more expensive, when in reality it's the opposite. Because of inflation. I don't know if you guys know that. Yeah, don't worry, Lawrence. I'm also guilty. I mean, let's just go Nintendo 64 release price. Oh, so Nintendo 64 release price was actually only 200 quid. which isn't actually as bad as I thought it was. But Nintendo 64 game cost. Or game poster would be the best way. Best way to look this up is always to find posters with prices on it, because people make up numbers all the time online. Whereas a poster was what they would have displayed them for costing. I say, as I can't find a poster. GameStop. There you go, $40. Which probably would have been £40 in the UK because we didn't tend to actually lower it back then for some reason. $40 for Star Wars Rogue Squadron, that game, Banjo-Kazooie. So if we compare that, because that probably doesn't include tax either, so £40 about right. When was the Nintendo 64 released? 1996? Or date? 1996. Boom. Oh, not long after my birthday. Well, 2 years after. I'm 29, so I was born in 1994. I know it's a random tangent, but inflation calculator. Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure we would charge more. Apparently, our games usually cost $54.95. And sometimes up to £60. But even if we say $40 like we have, $40 after inflation, 996 to today, would be £77. You get some games released at 70 quid, but it does show that games haven't actually gone that, like, we've not really increased the price of games, especially with indie titles. You can pick up some game. I picked up a game yesterday for £5. I remember them saying this in university. Oh, games were so cheap back in the day. You could pick them up for nothing. No, that's not true at all. Games have not gone down, up in price, really. Okay, we've got the plug picture now. What is your guys' favorite? What is your favorite games console, guys? That's probably how I would say that. This is a really odd picture because I'm looking at it from like a face-on angle. I wonder if there is a better one. I want to see a side profile of it because I think that'd be a bit better. PC, that's not a games console. I mean, PC's pretty good. I gotta agree. What's your favorite game of all time? Unboxing, no commentary. Show me the wire. Yeah, it's really, really weirdly bent. So we need to fix a couple of things here. One thing, we need 9 pins. Let's go get the PureRef image that I've got. And they need to... So I've got them long this way, but I guess it was just perspective because they're actually long this way. So because we've made it quite non-destructive, we're able to change these relatively easily. So they're probably like this, and then I'll pull it out on 1, 2. Yeah, probably just like that actually. 2. In there. These are much more closely put together, unlike myself. Oh, I'm already seeing through it. Wow. They're probably like, yeah, like that. They have got this weird looking... I've seen like plugs do this before, but they like do... Yeah, they do something like... Wait. Yeah, like this. They do something like this, where they separate. the best way to do that would probably be, well, yeah. So if I select this, mine's probably much lower poly than they got hers. Theirs. And we go vertex and we go smooth. I wonder if that. Really? Oh, whoa! I thought it was just gonna smooth them. Oh, slide. There you go. That's exactly what I want. Except this part. I don't want it to come off here. Do this and do that again. Yeah, basically that. They like sort of detach. And then it's much smoother than that. Then I probably... I mean, that looks basically like it. This is disconnected here, so I should probably connect those. So let me merge distance. There you go. Yeah, that's exactly how they look. Perfect. I guess Last of Us, so that should make my favorite console PlayStation. Of course, after Game Boy. To be fair, it's on PC now. Game Boy, oh. I mean, Game Boy's good. I play Game Boy games in a particular way that I probably shouldn't. Well, everyone does. Well, most people who want to play old games do it that way. You know what I mean. I love the Game Boy. I love Game Boy. You know what? I really love the GameCube. You know what console I really loved? And I would get so much hate for saying this. I personally really loved the Wii U. I thought the Wii U was brilliant. Love that console. But it gets ridiculed so hard. And I'm like, man, love the Wii U. These are definitely smaller, but slightly more spaced apart. So let's do that again. We could just array this. So that way we could change that. So if I actually, for those of you who don't know what that means. So in Blender, you can set up an array. And it will space them like this. I slightly want them separated. Or probably too much. 5. Yeah. Turn that up. And then we can array it a second time. This time go on Y. And do also 1.25 because we want it to be equally spaced. And then do this. So that way, you know, non-destructive again. We can then take this away or add it. Which would be really useful when I go over here. It needs to be a little bit smaller. A little bit smaller. They are very small pins. Something like that. Yeah. I guess I would have to pull this down to match them a bit better. To nice and snug. Snug as a bug. Actually, what I want to do is pull this up one, pull this... Well, it's fine. I can then shift these like this. I need to make more space. And the reason I need to make more space is because there's like a plastic inset that I need to add. So, one tip I like to give people is if you're making something and it's then going to like sort of come off of a different part of the geometry, instead of like what I could do is, you know, like could go, oh, let's create a new cube, let's place it in there, size it all up, or I could, you know, attach it to that location using that snap and stuff like this. But what I can also do is set the area that it's basically going to be, duplicate this. If I do want it as a separate mesh, I could just separate that. And we are now mostly already there. There's literally, if we look, there's this plastic bit in the inside. Now that I've got this, all I have to do, you can slightly stretch it among the points if you want it to slightly intersect with the geometry. Game Boy, it's just about the memory in the back of the car. Yeah, you know what? Game Boy for me, when it comes to memories, is laying in bed, right? Where is my Game Boy? I have a Game Boy laying around. One. It's somewhere. Not sure. I was gonna roleplay. I just use my phone. I remember like laying in bed, right? And you'd be like, playing video games, and then you hear like do do do, and yeah, under the pillow, yeah, basically, yeah, hide it under the pillow, and your parents would be like, boom, open the door up. Are you asleep in here? You're just like, and then like, or you do like the. That's not even coming through when I do that, but like the fake snoring. Wow, it's really not picking up my fake snoring. Hold on a minute. What's the noise canceller? Does it think that's noise? I wonder if this is picking up my fan and making the